Hello, and welcome to the Yapaholics Anonymous podcast. I'm your co-host, Andrew.
And I'm your co-host, Reagan. Pull up a chair, grab a snack, and let the yapping commence.
Hello, Yappers. Welcome to the Yapaholics Anonymous podcast. I'm your co-host, Andrew.
I'm your co-host, Reagan.
And we'll just jump right in. I think we're going to start this time around with our song of the week. And I don't know, I've listened to like a lot of music genres this week. I've been bouncing around. But if I am going to pick a song of the week, I think it's going to be Me and Your Mama by Childish Gambino.
Okay.
Because shout out that song.
Yeah, and I think that's so great.
And shout out Yo Mama.
Yeah, because last week my song of the week was also Childish Gambino.
Yeah.
I think this week was the hardest for me to pick a song of the week. I think you would also relate to that because I just don't think I was obsessively listening to any song this week. But my pick is going to be Sign of the Times by Harry Styles.
Which is a great song.
Which is a great song because...
We got to get... Did we get into that debate the first podcast?
No, we did not.
We're going to have to...
We're going to have to get into it today, probably.
Today?
Well, maybe not. We'll see. Because I love that song. It recently turned 7 years old. As of a few days ago.
Let's just have it.
And
out
also,
right
I
now.
would also talk. I need to say why it's my song of the week, Andrew.
Go ahead.
Is because at my other workplace, Bath & Body Works LLC, of course.
Sponsor us.
Sponsor us, please. We just launched a Bridgerton collection, so they're playing the Bridgerton soundtrack, which is just like orchestral versions of like popular songs. And Sign of the Times is one of those. And every time it comes on, I immediately know it's Sign of the Times, and I go, I love Harry.
That's so funny because I can't think of orchestral versions of songs without thinking of weddings, specifically the wedding of my 20-year-old basketball teammate where he walked down the aisle. Oh man, I'm gonna have to think about this. I think it was an Ed Sheeran song, I think.
Okay.
I think it was
there's a lot of Ed Sheeran wedding songs.
It might have been Photograph.
Yeah, I was gonna say that one or like Thinking Out Loud.
It was Thinking Out Loud. It was Thinking Out Loud. That's right.
Okay.
It was Thinking Out Loud. The funniest thing, and I wish I could remember what he walked back out to.
Like after they got married.
After they got married. It was so funny.
Okay.
I hope he and his wife and child on the way are all
listening.
doing good. And listening, of course, because we love our viewers. Listeners.
No, we don't have video.
We should have this out right now.
Okay.
And we'll do this real quick because we have a long road ahead of us.
Yes.
Our debate earlier.
Like 2 weeks ago debate.
2 weeks ago debate.
It's still ongoing.
Was who out of One Direction has the best solo song?
Yes. And would you like to say your answer to this question?
My answer is what I think. I could be swayed because of one other song, but I really do think it's This Town by Niall Horan.
Yes, and I told you many times, I love that song.
Just a masterpiece. I
think it is a great song. I do love it so much. And as I said to you when you texted me that for the first time, I think there are better Harry Styles songs. Dare I say better songs from Niall Horan himself.
I definitely don't think there's better Niall songs. You played me another Niall song.
Okay, yeah.
You said this is a better song. Reagan, it wasn't a better song.
Okay, and that's why music is subjective to the listener.
And then, Reagan, I gotta be so honest. I guess we're having it out, right?
We're having it out right now.
You played me a Harry Styles song that you said was better. That song is not better.
I think
it was the one that repeated a lot.
Yeah, Fine Line, one of my favorite songs of all time.
Avant-garde for sure. Not better than This Town.
Okay.
I fear.
Agree to disagree.
Well, you're going to have to go ahead with your pick. Which
of my favorite?
Your favorite.
Solo? I have so many Harry Styles songs that I could pick. I think Fine Line would be my pick, but I get that is subjective. Like, I know a lot of Harry Styles fans like love that song, but I think Sign of the Times is better.
Yeah.
If we're going to go with that. I think Sign of the Times is better than This Town.
That's the one song that could give it a run for its money, because I don't listen to a lot of Harry Styles songs.
The thing is all of the former One Direction members have just made music that is so different from each other, I would argue, like, since they've been solo. I would say, like, Niall and Harry have been similar in the sense that they're both, like, especially, like, Niall's first album, and of course, I'm going to be more knowledgeable on this than you, I hate to say.
Sure.
His first album was very much like This Town vibes, like, it was very, like, acoustic guitar, like, whatever. But his last two albums have been very like poppy, which is kind of what Harry Styles does as well. But even that, like, they're different. Like, Niall's last album was very 80s inspired, and I think Harry's is very, like, I mean this in the best way possible, just like kind of like standard like pop music of today, but he does it in such a great way.
I gotta be honest, I don't really like or listen to Harry Styles music.
And that's okay, because I do.
Like, Watermelon Sugar, I think is extremely overplayed.
Yes, but I also think it's a great song.
I don't like that song.
Okay, shut up.
And
don't talk to me.
I don't know. I can't even name any other Harry Styles songs off the top of my head.
I could name so many.
So I get Sign of the Times, and it is a great song. But when it comes down to it, what song did I play 4 times in a row when I was in a mentally vulnerable state like a week ago? And it was This Town by Niall.
And I'm so glad that you connect to that song in that way, because I also love that song, and I do remember when it came out, like, loving it. And I will say, I don't think I've ever showed you, there's one that I listen to a lot, and it's like he recorded it live, like 1 mic, 1 take, and I listen to that version. Quite often. I do love that song. And I am going to see Niall in July, and I'm so excited, and I have invited you to go with me.
Yeah.
Just so you can hear This Town live.
Well, I told Reagan that what I'm going to try to work out is just like in the Travis Scott concerts where he plays Fiend like 17 times in a row. I'm going to try to talk to old Niall and see if he can only play This Town. And then the second song that I will accept is Night Changes, but he only sings his part.
Yes.
And then it's just silent for the rest of the song. Out of respect, of course.
Yes, out of respect, of course. R.I.P. to the other One Direction members.
Too bad they died.
And Niall is, of course, listening to this. So he
invited on the podcast.
Yes, invited, of course, as always. So and he hears your request.
I do want to give just a brief shout out to Zayn.
Yes.
I don't listen to his music.
He has a new song coming out like either this week or next week. I think Friday.
I respect him as a musician. Don't listen to his music. But I think he should have his voice heard. Okay.
Yes, because I would argue he has the best voice out of the 5 of them.
And he's the best looking one. So like,
well,
you are not gonna Harry Styles this over Zayn.
I think objectively, yes, Zayn is the most. I love them all in their own ways. I could tell you who I think is least attractive, but I also won't do that. I won't air them out like that.
It's probably like, man, can I name all the One Direction members?
Yeah, go ahead and try.
Well, Zayn, Niall, Harry, Liam.
Yes.
Which Liam might be one of the unattractive ones. And then the 5th one
is also an L name.
Oh,
Think
man.
like French.
Louis!
Yes.
It's Louis. Louis's the unattractive one.
I wouldn't say that.
Louis
I love them all in their own ways.
Liam, yeah.
Liam, I've had some beef with in the past, of course, but
Louis,
I don't need to get into that.
Come on the podcast. We can talk it out.
Please come on the podcast. Liam, if you come on the podcast, please do not make a repeat of the Logan Paul podcast, of course.
I don't know if it gives us views. And
I know, of course, he's listening. If you are a One Direction stan, you will know what I'm talking about when I reference the Logan Paul podcast.
I don't
have the time to get into it today because it will fill me with an unmeasurable.
Our loyal viewers also can go ahead and send in their opinion on the best solo One Direction.
Please, I actually do really want to hear it.
Yeah, I'm sure we can get a range of answers. But, you know, our reach out to us on Instagram. I think we have a business email too.
Yeah, email us.
So
email us.
Email us if you want to.
And you know what? While you're at it, why don't you go ahead and put like a little paragraph explaining your choice?
Yeah,
because I would love context behind your answer.
And if your parent happens to be like an executive at DoorDash, also have them email us for the sponsor.
It is Yapaholics Podcast on Instagram.
We'd love to hear your guys' answers. We'll probably talk about them if we get any next podcast.
Yeah, so like if you are listening, please send it in so we have something to talk about because we never have anything else to talk about.
Or just weigh in if you think it's Sign of the Times or This Town.
Next.
Yeah, next.
Is, of course, as our loyal listeners know, what we do every week, hyperfixation of the week.
Mm-hmm.
Mine, I kind of had a few options. I'm going to land on my hyperfixation of the week is Letterboxd because I finally caved and made a Letterboxd account.
She's been trying to get me on the Letterboxd.
Yeah, and I think your reviews would be so funny. And I've rated 4 films so far.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's going to be my Letterboxd. I'm not great at watching new movies, so I hope this pushes me to do that because
she's a Casablanca girly.
Because never seen it. Because I love having opinions on things. And that's my hyperfixation of the week. Andrew, please state yours.
My hyperfixation of the week it's kind of weird. So we did in our little gang, we did our RRAs as serial killers.
Oh, yeah.
And
I made that presentation. I would like to state with our friend Belle.
Shout out, Belle. That got me down the rabbit hole. I don't know how, but I started looking up prison complexes.
Okay.
Because on Wikipedia, they actually say some interesting stuff. Like they say notable events that happened there. I ended up on this one prison that was the first prison to do the gas chamber.
Ooh. This was right up my alley.
Messed it up the first time, and then they had to redo it because they tried to gas him in his cell. Like, obviously, that's not going to work. There's like bars in his cell.
It is.
So they ended up taking like the butcher in the prison, the meat processing room. They like put plastic up and gassed him up in there.
Oh, okay. I thought you were gonna say they like just beheaded him.
No. But then I was like, well, I want to go find where the killer I was, which is the BTK killer from Kansas.
Yeah, that was the reasoning behind it. Is just that you're both from Kansas.
And he's in a low security prison in, I believe, El Dorado, Kansas. Just probably like chilling. Like
Gen Pop.
Brutally like killed many people. But
Blind, tortured, and killed people.
Blind, tortured, and killed. Bound, tortured, and killed.
Yes.
But no, he's just chilling at like a low security prison, which is kind of crazy. I guess he's like 70 now, probably.
Oh, yeah.
What also is crazy is obviously I clicked on his link to read about that.
Yeah.
I thought he was doing that in Kansas City. No, he was doing that in Wichita. Yeah, like right around when I was born.
You're from Wichita.
I wanted to call my mom about it and ask her, like, because she's super into like serial killer stuff. Right now. No, I can't do that. She's probably asleep right now, honestly.
Yeah, we're filming this kind of late for our standards, of course.
But I will have to call Miss Howard because, like, I was like a 1-year-old. Like, this had to be a serious problem for them. They had to be like, we're not trying to get BTK'd.
Yeah.
Which is crazy to think about.
Yeah.
That was my hyperfixation.
Okay, now we're going to pass the mic over to our producer boss friend Hala because she has a hyperfixation that she would like to discuss.
Hey guys.
I'm so excited.
Sorry, this is my first time recording with a mic for something like this, so very fun. My hyperfixation of probably about the past few weeks, I learned that there is a 1.4 billion pound surplus of American cheese sitting in caves under Missouri, and that cheese is owned by the government. And I really just think, if you don't know me, I'm a cheese lover. If they put me down there, they let me go at those caves, we would not have surplus. This would not be a problem. But obviously this rabbit hole means that I've researched it, watched TikToks. That's about the depth of it. Yeah. Like, it's not like I'm an expert and probably everything I'm saying is false. So take it with a grain of salt.
Next presentation idea, we plan the cheese heist.
A cheese heist.
Yes, I hate to say, and I think we've discussed this, Reagan lore, I really am not a cheese girl.
Don't even talk to me.
I'm very specific about my cheese, but I would help with the cheese heist. I could be the getaway driver.
Okay. What I learned, though, about this cheese, right? The U.S. government bought up American cheese because they wanted to, like, create a market for it, make it more popular, make it look like it was selling. So they bought up all this cheese, and then they just had excess cheese. So they started sending it out to, like, schools and, like, pizza shops and Mexican restaurants and all that kind of stuff. But then pizza places were like, how can we start integrating cheese into more things that we do, right? And that's how we got stuffed crust pizza.
That's crazy.
It's because the American government bought American cheese.
And they don't even use American cheese for stuffed crust.
Right. Which is crazy, but...
My question would be, what's down there with the cheese?
I don't know.
Yeah. Is it just because it's, like, cold down there? Because it's a cave?
So I've also heard reports that... that it's just where they age the cheese.
Oh, okay. Which
I think is boring. So I'm going to go with the surplus of cheese. You can tour the caves.
So let's take a trip.
And I'm very, very much into the idea of going and touring and stealing some cheese.
Yeah.
So
you could probably buy some.
I mean, yeah, but
stealing is more fun.
1.4 billion pounds of cheese and they can't just give me a wheel or two?
Yeah.
You gotta know the right people, though.
Do you think I could use my tax-exempt status as a higher education professional to get cheaper cheese?
Probably.
Or we could just steal the cheese.
Yeah, we could just steal the cheese.
It's like how they stole the moon in Despicable Me. We're gonna
right.
Notably, the moon is also just cheese.
Yeah.
Yes. If Wallace and Gromit taught me anything, it's that the moon is made of cheese.
If I know anything, the Earth is flat, the moon is cheese, and
that's that.
Yeah.
On the next pod, we'll be talking about our favorite conspiracy theories.
Aliens are hiding in the cheese cave.
Oh, yeah.
The aliens are among us, and there are reptilian shapeshifters, of course. Okay.
Thank you, Hala.
We're gonna at some point have a full episode with Hala. Probably we just haven't organized it because we're not very organized. I would venture to say.
We probably also need to expand our resources. We do have 2 mics right now.
Yeah.
So
we only have 2 mics. So
maybe a third mic is in order.
Maybe even a 4th.
Yeah, possibly even.
One would argue.
Maybe even 5 more mics for each member of One Direction to talk at the same time.
Yes, I would love if
they reunited for our podcast. If we
housed the One Direction reunion, you would never get me.
This is like some Radio Rebel stuff.
Well, actually, I think I shared this with you, Andrew. It's a tweet that I think is so funny and so relatable to me. And I feel like this is how it would be if we got anyone that I really loved on the podcast.
I think if we got anyone that like was really important in the podcast, I was like, I don't know if I'd be able to speak.
I know, that's what I was going to say. It says, no Riz, just a girl who would either yap your ear off or go nonverbal. You guys have never seen me go nonverbal, I don't think. But, like, if you get the right person, I fear that it would happen.
I think if we get, like, Barack Obama on the podcast, I'm not saying a single thing. I'm just saying, go ahead, Mr. President, and that's all.
I would probably have to tell him how I mentioned him in every entertainment speech that I gave. But the thing is I don't know how much we can get like serious people on here because that's not the vibe of this podcast, Andrew.
We'd be like,
I'd have to be like,
Mr. President, what's your hyperfixation this week?
Yeah,
and he'd be like, what?
Well, he does do his year-end song list.
Yeah, so but those are obviously cultured by like his 20-year-old aides. He does not listen to Mitski. Barack Obama does not listen to Mitski.
You don't know anything
I do know
Barack
that.
Obama.
I do know that. He listens to like Barack. I know this. Duh. He listens to like Horse with No Name or something like that. This dude does not listen to like
you never know.
Something in the Orange. You know, he's not. Yeah. I'm sorry, he's not. He's listening to the Black Eyed Peas at best. At best, Barack Obama culturally made it to the Black Eyed Peas.
Okay, we're going to move on from this. Okay. I can't have this discussion.
Of course, Barack Obama, we love you. Come on the podcast. You,
Barack Obama, please come on the podcast.
Bring your hyperfixation and song of the week. Bring your
hyperfixation. If you feel so inclined, bring Michelle as well. I would love to hang out with
Michelle.
How
about you call Michelle up?
What would happen if you just called Michelle up? Yeah. I have her book up in my room.
And bring Sasha and Malia.
Yes. Or some of your dogs.
And some of the dogs.
I don't remember. I know one of them passed away, unfortunately. I can't remember which one it was.
Yeah.
We're going to need a bigger office.
No, we're going to get a studio eventually.
One might even say.
Brock, I'm sorry. I know I'm asking a lie. Can you fly us out to your office even? I'm sure you have more space. If you think about it logistically, it just works better if you fly us out.
Yes.
So
preferably private, just for us.
Our business email is in our Instagram. So
yes,
our team will be in contact with your team.
Our team will be in contact. Okay. Very quickly, Hala came up with this question, or saw this question something, and she posed it to me, and I would now like to pose it to Andrew, and I will be answering it, of course. So, what would be your body and blood, as in Jesus Christ at the Last Supper?
I think my body is original flavored Pringles, and I say that because if you put a can of original flavored Pringles in front of me, it's gone in 30 minutes. It's actually like a problem. I can't help myself.
Okay.
And like, I know it's probably 3 times my daily recommended sodium intake, and I might have a heart attack by the time I'm 40. But if I do that because I'm eating original flavored Pringles, then like it's a life well lived.
Yeah.
No, I got to get to my blood.
Oh, sorry.
My blood, of course, also is Mountain Dew Code Red, which fully rounds off the heart attack by 40. That is just my my favorite. I heart Mountain Dew Code Red.
Yes. I think I know what I said for my blood when I told Hala this. I don't remember what I said for my body, but at this moment in time, I'm feeling inclined to say that my body is Hawaiian rolls, which I might have said this last time. You put a pack of Hawaiian rolls in front of me, I'm going to eat them in one sitting. Like, I love them. Like, to the point when I was, like, early, like, high school, junior high, like, if we did, like, a secret sister kind of thing for volleyball, people gave me Hawaiian rolls. Like, I just love them that much. And then my blood is going to be an iced chai latte.
Mm.
Specifically, may I add, with almond milk from the mill in Lincoln.
Pacifically?
No, I said specifically.
I know.
Because that's the best chai I've ever had in my life.
I gotta be honest.
Or from a coffee truck in Austin, but I don't remember the name.
I can definitely get breaded out. So I would not eat a full Hawaiian roll package.
No, I could.
And I also want to clarify, I don't mean that the bread I wake up every morning and make. I don't mean the paper that I stack. I mean the actual food bread. Trust me, I stack dollars to the ceiling. But
yeah, as we know.
In the food sense, I can get breaded out for sure. So yeah, that's great. I think we've learned a lot about each other.
Yeah, we're always learning new things about each other. And that's what's beautiful about friendship is no matter how long you know each other, you always learn something new. And I would argue, Andrew and I really haven't known each other that long in the grand scheme of things. Okay, speaking of lore.
Yeah.
I made a presentation because one thing that you got to know about me is I love pop culture and I love men. In the sense that I am so boy crazy, it's not even funny. I love celebrity men. I have so many celebrity crushes, it's not even funny. I do refer to them as my boyfriends sometimes. And my family just knows who I'm talking about. Mostly my mom, because my mom is my best friend, I would venture to say. Shout out, Amy, I know you're listening to this. And I just love them. And I have talked about them to you, Andrew, multiple times.
Yeah.
And when we were coming up with this podcast, and it was actually like coming into its own, like, we like had the mics. Don't make that face at me. we had the mics, everything, and we were planning to record it. I was at work where I have some of my best thoughts, and I said I came up with 2 podcast content ideas. One of them is a presentation of my celebrity crushes that I've had in all my life and showing Andrew. And the other one was that I have a list of baby names for my future children, of course, that I've had since 7th grade. And I think it'd be so funny for Andrew to rate them. Mm-hmm. That's not what we're doing today. Andrew is going to be rating my men today.
Yeah. Go ahead and tell our valued listeners how many slides this presentation is.
Okay. Originally, it was 148. With the title page, with the title page, with the title page, with the title page.
Put a pause on that. Reagan, I'm going to have to put a pause on you real quick. Because I want to take a second and just clarify that there is 147 men that just exist within pop culture that Reagan has decided to dedicate a slide for her romantic interest in.
Well, some of them it's previous. Men. It's not current romantic interest, as you will see with some of these.
I don't think I could name 147 pop culture women. Now, 100 I can and have done. We talked about that. 147? Pushing it.
And I hate to inform you that I did go ahead and add 2 more people to this.
So it's 149?
3 more people. It's at 150, actually.
So we are just at 150 men.
No, that's with the title page.
149, just short.
Thank you.
I'm holding no judgment back. I'm being brutal.
And that's exactly what I hope for, but you have to be careful because my feelings do get hurt very easily.
I know.
And I would just like to preface this with, this is all of my celebrity crushes that I've had in my life. And they are in chronological order. I did kind of narrow it down as well as like people that I felt specific like attachment to.
Yeah.
Because they're like, I was going through like the cast lists of like Disney movies, and I was like, okay, yeah. When I was watching this as a kid, I was probably like, oh, that's a cute boy. But this is people that I like.
Yes, don't worry, viewers. This list is narrowed down.
This could be way longer. And also, I would also like to preface that if you are listening, any of these 149 men that are on this list, you are of course welcome to come on the podcast. I am not crazy.
We encourage you to.
We encourage you, actually.
I won't let Reagan harm or...
I'm not that crazy.
I won't let anything befall you. Don't worry. I'll sit between you and Reagan.
Yes, and of course, any guest that comes on our podcast, you will get a Yapaholic friendship bracelet made by me, yours truly.
Go ahead and also let our viewers know that
that you can follow along with this. There will be a link to this PowerPoint.
It's a very, bio. Nicely organized PowerPoint.
It is very aesthetically pleasing, I would say.
Yeah.
Okay, because this may take a while. I'm going to try to keep it brief, of course. And Andrew has to chime in with his opinions, of course. So number 1 on my list, my very first celebrity crush, Keith Urban.
Okay, well, with this picture that she's provided, young Keith Urban.
Yeah, I did try to keep it within the time.
That's an attractive man.
Yes, and I was 5 years old, and I said, I'm going to marry this man.
And like Nebraska.
He's Australian.
Well, yeah, but Keith Urban in Nebraska is like...
He was my very first concert.
Yeah. So, okay.
We discussed, yeah.
This is reasonable. Well, should I give it like an out of 10?
Sure, if you feel ever so inclined.
I'm giving this one, I'm doing an 8.3 out of 10.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
Okay, next, we've discussed this. Hayden Christensen.
That's also just an attractive man.
But specifically as, of course, Anakin Skywalker in Revenge of the Sith.
Now, I want to say, that's a good start. I'm wondering when you're going to run out of steam and we're going to start seeing the regular white guys with curly hair. This is objectively an attractive man, especially in Star Wars as Anakin. Hopefully you don't want to go to any beach. I heard he's not a big fan of sand.
Yes, of course.
This is a 9.5 out of 10.
Oh, wow. Yeah. No, I think he's such an attractive man. Next, Zac Efron. I will say, peak Zac Efron attraction is going to be in High School Musical 3 senior year when he is singing Scream. Cinematic genius.
Well, it's definitely not recent Zac Efron when he's like Botox to the gills.
I do still love him and like have so much love in my heart for him. So that like if people do make fun of his recent appearance, I do get a little bit offended. But like I will say, not super attractive, but I love him and I think he has been through some hard things.
Zac Efron is the least understandable man on this list so far.
Why? Because
he's not as hot as Keith Urban or Hayden Christensen.
Okay.
He can sing though.
Yes.
We do know that.
Yes.
7.4 out of 10.
Okay, that's stupid. Next, Dylan Sprouse.
Oh, no.
I would like to say, of course, this is me as a 7-year-old watching School Life
Okay, slightly more understandable.
Yes. And so some of these, I would like to say they're not someone that I like personally really find attractive anymore. I put pictures of them at the time that I found them attractive.
This hair is crazy.
Well, it was the Bieber era.
Yeah, I know it's the Bieber era, and it was never hot. I got to be honest.
Yeah,
it was
I would
never
concur
hot.
Looking back.
Dylan Sprouse, 5.2 out of 10.
Okay. Next is Joe Jonas.
Okay.
Of Jonas Brothers fame.
Of course. This is a return to form.
Man.
He's got, good jawline. He's a singer. He's a Jonas brother. I like his
purity ring is on.
I like his. Is that a purity ring?
Yeah.
Okay.
Do you not know the lore?
We love a pure man. I'm sure he's still,
He was married, got divorced. He has 2 kids. So.
Okay. I'll give that one an 8.6 out of 10.
Okay. Next, Taylor Lautner. I would like to state this is not current to the point that I feel so cringed out by Taylor Lautner at this moment in time.
I gotta be honest.
No, I'm being so for real because he is just clinging to fame in the only ways that he can, which is that he was a part of the Twilight franchise and that he dated Taylor Swift.
Yeah. So Reagan doesn't like Taylor Lautner because the Taylor Swift stuff, and reasonable. Okay.
No, they're like friends, and I appreciate that he is very nice to her, but I think he is like clinging.
I think
her.
Present day Taylor Lautner is more attractive than this Twilight Taylor Lautner.
I would disagree.
That being said, giving him a 7.4 out of 10.
Okay. Next is going to be Boo Boo Stewart. If you know who this is, I love you so much. He was also in Twilight, and he was like 15 in Twilight, so like age gap wasn't like super weird. He's also in the Descendants movies that you have never seen that you need to watch. He's so hot in the Descendants movies. And then he's also in Julie and the Phantoms, which I talked about on the first episode, was a great TV show. And he's just a very attractive man, and I love him. I did recently see that he shaved his head, though, and like a big part of his charm was his hair. So that takes me out of it a bit.
I don't know who this man is. I like that his name is Boo Boo. I like that this picture looks like it's taken on a security camera.
Some people were hard to find pictures for, okay?
I'm giving him an 8 out of 10.
Next, Justin Bieber.
This
was a big one.
Once again, present day Justin. Well, not present day Justin Bieber. Like 4 years ago, Justin Bieber. The Justin Bieber in this picture, hotter than baby Justin Bieber, and hotter than like drug addict Justin Bieber.
Well, this is because Justin Bieber was like, I would venture to say like my very first like obsession. Like I loved him so much as an 8-year-old, and so like I don't really like feel that love for him anymore. I'm always gonna have a place in my heart for him, of course, because he was my very first love. But I do still think he's an attractive man.
This picture of Justin Bieber, and also considering, he's been around the block a couple of times. I think he got caught up with P. Diddy, though. So that's going to knock him down a point. He's a 7 out of 10.
Okay, and I can accept that. Next, Lucas Till.
I've seen this.
From the Hannah Montana movie.
Yes.
He was also in the You Belong With Me music video from Taylor Swift.
I thought the country accent didn't like him.
Oh, okay.
Didn't like it. A little too forced, but that's an attractive man. A little bit like the haircut sucks, but it's product of the times.
Again, Bieber era.
I'll give him a 7.7 out of 10.
Wonderful. Next is David Henry. I would like to state there is a note. specifically as vampire hunter Justin Russo. So like Justin Russo in Wizards of
Wizards of Waverly
Place
Place, yeah.
when he was a vampire hunter.
Vaguely remember that. I'm not seeing it. I'm giving him a 7 out of 10.
And you know what? I'm okay with that because I could not care less about this man at this point in time. Much love to you, David Henry. If you want to come on the pod, reach out to us, of course. Next, Chad Michael Murray. Again, I didn't put a note on this one, but it is in A Cinderella Story with Hilary Duff, of course. Wonderful.
At least this picture, we are just starting to get to like normal looking white dudes.
Yeah.
That is a normal looking white dude.
Mm-hmm.
But he's kind of, got, a sharp jawline, all that. Don't know much about him. I'll give him a 7.6 out of 10.
Okay. Next is Sterling Knight.
That looks like Fred. That looks like Fred from YouTube.
No. Sterling Knight, he was in Sunny with a Chance, the show with Demi Lovato,
of course,
who he played like a character who was a parody of Chad Michael Murray, which is so funny. But he's also in the movie Starstruck that I have been talking about so often recently. And I love that movie. So that's, I fear, going to have to be like something we need to watch promptly.
I'll give Fred a 6.7 out of 10.
Fred is from Columbus, Nebraska.
Nebraska actually went to the high school that I graduated from when he lived in Columbus, Nebraska.
Yeah. Oh, I've known that for so long.
So my sophomore year English teacher had Fred merch like all over her.
He's a local celebrity.
Yeah. Also, Lucas Cruikshank.
Yes.
And then his younger brother, Jacob Cruikshank, also does content now. I love their content. But I just think that that's so cool that
Fred, come on this podcast, please. We're begging you.
Yeah, please.
Next guy.
Next, Kendall from Big Time Rush.
Yeah, I mean, I get it. This is not a good picture of him.
I think this is a beautiful picture of him.
Yeah.
Okay.
Not the best looking Big Time Rusher. Which, yeah, it is Logan.
Okay.
Is the best looking Big Time Rusher.
I can acknowledge that. I thought you were going to say James, and that was going to actually make me
He's
pissed.
a 7 out of 10. James was another, haircut, all that.
Yeah. No. I'm not a big fan of James these days. If you know, you know.
7 out of 10.
Jaden Smith was a big one for me, I will argue. Again, picture of him from the time that I loved him.
Jaden Smith.
Which
I'm not feeling it. 6.8
Never
Say
Never. Justin Bieber featuring Jaden Smith.
6.8 out of 10.
Song. Okay. Leo Howard.
That's a woman.
From Kickin' It.
That's a woman.
That's not. I promise you it's not.
Okay.
He's going to hate Greta Van Fleet.
I'll rate this lovely lady an 8.2 out of 10.
Okay. Next is Cameron Boyce. R.I.P. Why are you laughing?
Yeah, I'm sorry. I just forgot he existed.
That's so rude. R.I.P. I love him. Like
I also forgot he died.
Yeah, and it does make me sad when I think about it.
R.I.P. Cameron Boyce. You get a 7.8 out of 10.
Okay. I love him. Next, Ross Lynch.
Yeah.
Which Hal and I, as we are recording this and as it comes out, we are seeing Ross Lynch, the Driver Era, in Omaha on April 11th. If any of our listeners are there, feel free to come up and say hi.
I'll give Ross Lynch an 8.3 out of 10.
Okay.
He's an attractive man.
He is an attractive man. I love him. Logan Lerman. Are you aware of who this is?
Was he a podcaster?
He was Percy Jackson.
Percy Jackson
movies. And
Perks
the
of
Perks of Being a Wallflower.
I love Perks of Being a Wallflower.
Never seen it.
He gets an 8 out of 10 even.
Yeah, I think he's beautiful. Niall Horan.
Niall Horan, This Town fame. Famous for the song This Town and nothing else. Not like an extremely attractive man, unfortunately, but we love a good singer.
I fear this isn't a great photo of him.
7.6 out of 10.
Okay. Next, Harry Styles.
Harry Styles. I have some opinions about this.
Oh my god, no.
I don't like how much he's got, he's dropping dong,
Huh?
He's got balls out quite a lot.
What are you talking about?
Like when I went and saw your poster of Harry Styles just completely
naked,
bare to the world.
He's not. He's covered up.
Yeah, by what? Like a ball?
By his hand.
His hand. I'm giving Harry Styles a 7 out of 10.
Okay, I find that personally offensive.
he needs to put some clothes on.
Okay, whatever.
Put some clothes on.
Okay, next, Zayn.
Zayn, of course, got the best date in Night Changes.
Yeah,
his date is the best.
I love that you love the music, like you know the music.
Yeah, of course I do. Zayn, especially current Zayn, will sit at a 9 out of 10.
Next, you might notice a theme.
Louis
Tomlinson.
Yeah, I do notice a theme. I hate to think I think I don't like Louis Tomlinson as much as Niall Horan. I think I gave Niall a 7.6.
I could
I
not tell
can't
you. I
even
haven't
remember
been
anymore.
writing it down.
So I'll just give Louis a 7.5.
Okay. And I would like to say I have all of the members of One Direction on here because if you were a One Direction fan, you loved all of them in their own ways. And there were moments of time that I found each of them attractive. My favorite while they were a band was Niall, and I still love him so dearly. Of course, Harry is my number one at this moment in time.
Well, it's crazy how fast the night changes.
Yes. And then, of course, after that is going to be Liam Payne.
That is an attractive man, but also just looks like maybe 20% of the people you'd find in Australia.
They are from England.
Either way, we'll give Liam a 7.7 out of 10.
Okay. Next is... Okay, this is when the Pretty Little Liars phase starts. So I'm going to assume that you don't know who these people are.
No, I don't.
This is Ian Harding, plays Ezra on the show. I can't get into the lore at this moment in time, so we're just going to say their names.
Ian Harding is a solid 8 out of 10.
Okay, yeah, I think he's an attractive man. Next, this name, Cody Christian. He was in Pretty Little Liars. He was also in Teen Wolf, which we'll get into that phase later.
He needs to back up from the camera. He'll be getting a 7.5 out of 10 from me.
Okay. Next is, I really don't know how to say his name. He was also on the show.
This is Taylor Lautner in a different font.
Yeah, I would argue.
Same problems with him as I had with Taylor. I don't know what I gave Taylor, but I'm giving this man a 7.8 out of 10.
Okay. And then next is Drew Van Acker. He played Jason on Pretty Little Liars. I think he's such an attractive. He's not a great picture, but
I could see it.
Sometimes I couldn't find good pictures.
I'm giving him an 8 out of 10.
Okay. Next, Dylan O'Brien.
I don't know.
You're gonna make a lot of people mad with this one.
I don't really like this. Like, he's got his jaw open. Looks like a mouth breather, to be honest. I'm giving him a 7.2 out of 10.
Okay. Luke Hemmings.
Also
5
needs
Seconds
to
of Summer.
Shoddy, back up from the... He looks like a marathon runner.
Well, he's Australian, so you never know.
I'm giving him a 7.2 out of 10.
Okay. Next, Callum Hood, also 5 Seconds of Summer.
That's not an attractive man.
You're lying.
That's
my number 2 after Harry Styles.
A 6 out of 10.
Okay, well,
man.
Shut up.
Come on the podcast, Callum Hood.
Ashton Irwin, also a 5 Seconds of Summer, because if you once again sense a theme, I did also love all of them in their own ways.
That's an attractive man. I'll give him an 8 out of 10.
Okay, perfect. Last member of 5 Seconds of Summer, Michael Clifford. I would like to preface this. I never really saw him very much in a romantic sense, but I love him so much, like, platonically. And he is married and has a daughter. She's kind of cut off in this photo, unfortunately. But I love him so much.
He does. I said I was going to be brutal. I'm going to be brutal.
Yeah.
He does look like a Minecraft YouTuber. That's a 6.7 out of 10.
Next, this man, his name is Emery Kelly. I could not tell you a single thing about this man. The reason he's on here is because I was obsessed with him at this time. He was in a band that was formed on the X Factor. I only watched the X Factor because One Direction was formed on the X Factor, and I love them so much. So, of course, to support them, I watched the X Factor.
Yeah, I get it. I mean, here's the white guy with curly hair, except, like, he does have, some good facial features. I'll give him a 7.7.
Okay. Same exact scenario for this guy.
No.
He was in a country band, though.
This guy looks like he founded Google. Like,
yeah, he does have a kind of a Zuckerberg look to him.
That man is a 5.4 out of 10.
Again, could not tell you a single thing he's doing. What do you know about...
That was Zach Beaker, by the way. I don't think we said his name.
Zach Beacon. What do you know about this guy?
Hayes Greer? I feel like I've heard his name before. From you, probably.
He was, like, big on Vine. Are you aware of MagCon?
It's ringing some bells.
Oh, man. Well, I was in 6th grade when it ended, so you were in what? 5th?
5th. Okay, this man is a 7.5 out of 10.
Okay. Jack Walensky, also in MagCon.
He looks photoshopped.
Fun fact, he's from Omaha. So hot people can be from Nebraska.
White boy with curly hair. But he's got a striking gaze, so I'm going to give him an 8 out of 10.
Yeah. This man, he is in a band called the Vamps, which they're kind of, it's One Direction in the sense that they're from England, but like 5 Seconds of Summer, like musically wise.
He looks like he's doing the pose, the Hamilton pose.
Oh
the Hamilton
my god!
Pose.
Yeah.
What's
the Lin-Manuel
Miranda pose? He's gonna get a 6.8 out of 10. Stop the eye contact.
Okay. Sam Claflin, aka Finnick Odair from The Hunger Games.
Of course, that is an 8.1 out of 10.
Beautiful. Peyton Meyer, he was on Girl Meets World. A quick lore about this man is I was in 6th grade when that show came out, and I loved him, of course. And I was 12 in 6th grade, and I looked him up one day on my computer, and I found out that he just turned 18, and I was heartbroken for the rest of the day because I was like, there goes my chances.
Yeah, that'll do it.
Yeah.
This looks like an average white man.
Yep.
And I will be giving him a 6.3 out of 10.
Yep, and that's fine. Next, his name is Brenton Thwaites. I specifically said he was in the Giver movie.
I watched The Giver.
One of my favorite books of all time. Not a great movie, I would venture to say.
Pretty good book.
But then he was also in a movie called Gods of Egypt that he definitely should not have been in because he's not
Caucasian.
Egyptian. Yes.
He's from the Caucasus.
Yes. Australia. But he's an attractive man.
Yeah. 7.7.
He's also in Pirates of the Caribbean.
7.7.
I've never seen any of those movies.
Thomas
Brody Sangster.
Oh, no.
Who has finally grown into his face in the sense that he looks older than 15.
He's from The Maze Runner.
Yes.
That man is a 7. No, that's too high. He's a 6.6 out of 10.
Okay. I love how brutally honest you're being. This is exactly what I hoped for.
I feel like we should disclaim that Andrew does not like men.
Yeah,
Andrew also does not like
men.
Yep, we'll get into Andrew's type in a future episode.
If anything, that makes me more objective.
Yeah. Mitchell Hope is in the Descendants movies that you need to watch.
Mm-hmm.
Also Australian.
Just a white man with long hair.
Yep.
Give him a 6.8 out of 10.
Okay. Jordan Fisher.
I mean,
He's been a recent hyperfixation, but not like a serious one. This also, I feel like, isn't like a super recent picture, I would argue.
But he is an attractive man, and for that, I'll give him...
And he's a great singer.
An 8 out of 10.
A wonderful, amazing singer.
8.1 out of 10.
Okay. Daniel Sharman, who is in Teen Wolf. And then he's been in a few things. He's in a show on Netflix called Medici about the Medici family. It's basically Bridgerton, but in Renaissance Italy.
That's just not a good angle for him. I'm going to give
he's such a beautiful man.
A 7 out of 10.
Okay. He also campaigns for Bernie Sanders. So
shout out.
Even though he's British.
Feel the burn.
So, you know. Dylan Sprayberry, of course, this is at the time. This is an at the time thing. I don't know a thing about what he's doing. We are in the Teen Wolf era now.
This is just a regular white guy, but with blue eyes.
Piercing blue eyes.
Which bumps him up to like 7.8.
Okay. Next, Tyler Hoechlin on Teen Wolf. He also played Superman on like the CW shows.
I like his facial hair. No, I like his facial hair.
Yeah, me too.
He can get an 8.2 out of 10.
Perfect. Evan Peters.
Yeah. Also in a movie that I know.
What?
Or a show.
He's on American Horror Story.
No.
I feel like is what he really got
famous
for. He's Dahmer. He played Jeffrey Dahmer.
He's Dahmer.
Yeah,
that's
Jeffrey
right.
Dahmer.
Give Dom a 7.6.
Oh my god. Next, Matthew Daddario. Do you know who Alexandra Daddario is?
I do.
Sister.
Wow. I will give this dude an 8 out of 10.
Yeah, he's a beautiful man. Shawn Mendes. Had a very large Shawn Mendes face. I am out of it, but recently he went on stage and performed Stick Season with Noah Kahan, and I quote texted my mom the video and said, "This is not going to be good for me."
It kind of looks like you caught him off guard at a party in this picture.
Yeah.
I will be giving him a 7.5 out of 10.
Okay. This is where we're going to start all the athlete crushes. This is Brandon Riley. I, again, could not tell you a thing about this man. I did love him at the time. He also reminds me of Charlie Puth. If you can picture Charlie Puth in your head,
I see it.
He's like reminiscent.
7.9 out of 10.
And that's okay. Next, Glenn Powell.
Glenn
Powell, I feel like a lot of people are obsessed with right now. I have loved him since 2016 when Scream Queens came out and he played Chad Redwell. It was so good.
This is an attractive man. Kind of got like a small mouth. Giving him an 8.2 out of 10.
Okay. I would like to preface this. Young Leonardo DiCaprio.
Young Leo, obviously an icon.
So hot.
Not just an average white dude. I feel like that's revisionist history. This is an attractive man. I'm going to give him an 8.5 out of 10.
Yeah. Next, Cord Overstreet, specifically as Sam Evans from Glee,
of course. It's a fake name. Cord Overstreet?
No, that is his real name. And his sisters all have like interesting names.
His name.
Fun fact: his brother is in the band Hot Chelle Ray, who I saw they opened for Justin Bieber when I saw Justin Bieber. But they're the band that is like Tonight is them, and like I like it like that.
His name is 2 nouns and an adverb, which is crazy. But I will be giving him 7.6.
Okay. Next is Jacob Artis. He's also on Glee. I think he's a beautiful, beautiful man. I do have his autograph.
It's the first man that's looked like semi-recent in attire.
Okay.
Not seeing much here. I'll give him an 8 out of 10 though.
Okay. Next, Kyron Williams, I met him once, and I think that is what catapulted the love that
I
I have
like
for him.
we've talked about, I need to get some more jewelry. I like that he has an
Earrings?
earring.
Yeah.
I can't see much here with this mouth guard.
Yeah, not a great picture. Not, unfortunately for these Nebraska athletes, not great picture selection.
I'll give him a 7.9 out of 10.
Okay, perfect. Next, Ty Webster, also Nebraska athlete. He's from New Zealand.
I'll give Ty Webster an 8.1 out of 10.
Thank you. Cole Sprouse. This is Riverdale era.
Riverdale Cole Sprouse, the one with the beanie.
Jughead.
I'm giving Jughead a 5 out of 10. I'm giving Cole Sprouse a 6.7.
Okay. I don't have any comments on that. Ross Butler, who is also in Riverdale, he's also in 13 Reasons Why.
I'll give Ross Butler a...
He was also in Teen Beach 2.
7.3 out of 10.
Yep. I think he's such an attractive man. He was also like 30 playing high schooler. Grant Gustin.
This man's got what seems to be no chin. I'll give him a 7 out of 10.
I really hope all of our listeners are following along so they know what he's talking about. JFK.
John F. Kennedy. Also an attractive man. Hell is dying over there. We will not let the CIA take from us what was once young, hot John F. Kennedy.
I think even when he was president, he was hot.
He is an 8.3 out of 10.
Movie
star, JFK.
He was never a movie star. That was Ronald Reagan.
That was Ronald Reagan. Could have been, though.
I think with that face, he could have been.
Okay. I better not see Ronald Reagan on this podcast.
Oh, God, no.
I'll leave.
God, no.
Okay.
God, no.
Okay. Shout out Ronald
Did you know
Reagan.
that
Don't shout out Ronald Reagan.
Did you know that I'm named after him?
Yes, I've heard it many times, actually.
Yeah, it's the worst thing about me. Next, this is going to be JFK's grandson, Jack Schlossberg. Hey, if you're free Tuesday, I am also free Tuesday. Please, I am begging. I love him.
It's not a great picture. Such a politician.
Yeah, and that's perfect.
I'm giving him a
to be a trophy wife.
7 out of 10.
Okay, I love him. Grayson Dolan.
Oh, not a great picture here.
Yeah.
His eyebrows look like...
Yeah, not a great picture. Some people I just didn't care enough to really find a good picture.
I'm giving Grayson a 7.5 out of 10.
Okay. Andrew Garfield.
And you know what? I am biased about Andrew Garfield because he's in a lot of good movies.
And he dated Emma Stone.
I'll give Andrew Garfield a 7.8 out of 10.
Okay.
So,
Thomas Doherty, he was in the Descendants movies as well.
This man is all jaw, and I'm giving him...
He's Scottish.
He's Scottish?
Yeah.
I'm giving him a 7.6.
Okay, you need to see him in Descendants, and you will change your answer.
Yeah, okay.
Jackson Rathbone specifically as Jasper Hale in Twilight.
7.3 out of 10. That's just a white dude with curly hair.
Yeah. Douglas Booth, specifically in Romeo and Juliet, the 2013 version. I had to watch Romeo and Juliet my freshman year of high school after we read it, and he is just beautiful and British. So what else? I'm
giving him a 7.3 out of 10.
I couldn't tell you a single thing about him. Actually, no, I can. He was in The Dirt, the Motley Crue movie. This guy, I need to preface. Somewhere. This is Mitch Rossell. He is a country artist. I showed you when you were in my room the other day his CD because he autographed it for me. I think this is more of like a platonic like celebrity crush in a way that I was so enamored by him because I met him. He opened for Garth Brooks in 2017 and I met him after the concert.
I'm giving him a 7.
And he signed an autograph and he told me my name was pretty.
Oh, so. I'm giving him a 7.8.
Next, Joe Keery.
Yeah, from Stranger Things.
Yes.
And DJO.
I'm pretty sure you say I think you just say Joe.
Back in Chicago.
Good
singer. Love him in Stranger Things. All biased, bump him up to an A.
Okay, perfect. Jimmy Butler. This is such a funny thing. I think this is a big personality thing, but also I don't think he's
got a great personality. Shout out his emo picture.
Oh, his emo picture made me NBA.com. Laugh so hard.
Jimmy Butler, like, this
was like 2017
era. The top 1% of like physical shape too.
Yeah.
I'll give him an 8.5 out of 10.
Okay. I kind of forgot he was in there. Javier Baez,
baseball player.
Yes. Chicago Cubs 2016 World Series.
I love the Cubs. I'll give him an 8 out of 10.
Yep. Great. Noah Centineo. I would like to say this was when To All the Boys I Loved Before came out in 2018 before he got very, very weird, and of course I had to stop liking him after that. When this movie came out, he was a cute little boy. He was a cute boy.
No, this dude was like the start of the white dude curly hair era.
Okay.
I'm giving him a 7.1 out of 10.
Jeremy Jordan specifically as Jack Kelly in Newsies.
He looks like he played Al Capone in a movie.
And I would love that for him.
And I'm giving him a 7 out of 10.
Okay. I had a small BTS phase.
Yeah.
I hate to admit, Jungkook was my favorite.
I like that we have some flavor in here now.
Yeah.
Giving him a 7.7.
Also in BTS, his like stage name is V. I think he's one of the most attractive.
I'm giving him a 7.5.
Okay. This man also as well was in a boy band called Pretty Much. His name's Zion, which was also formed by Simon Cowell, who formed One Direction. I again could not tell you a single thing
Simon
about this
Cowell,
man.
the dude from American Idol or The Voice?
Yeah.
Oh my god, he formed
One Direction. Well, he says he formed One Direction. He actually didn't. It was
he's
Nicole
kind of like
Scherzinger.
he's kind of like a dick, isn't he?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, I don't love him. Okay, we're gonna hurry this up.
Yeah, we're just gonna shoot some off.
Quite a few. Michael B. Jordan.
That is a 9.8 out of 10.
Ben Hardy specifically as Roger Taylor in Bohemian Rhapsody.
That is an 7.8 out of 10.
Okay, Timothée Chalamet.
That is a 9.3 out of 10.
I thought that was gonna be higher.
No. He's the pinnacle of white boy curly hair.
Yeah.
And he's the only one that did it right.
Yeah. Angelo Altavilla, he was a baseball player for Nebraska.
Seeing what I'm seeing, he's a... Yeah, I can tell. He's a 7.6 out of 10.
Okay. Luke McCaffrey.
He's a...
I asked him to prom once. We cannot tell the story right now.
He's a 7.9 out of 10.
Okay. Christian Yelich.
That is an 8.2 out of 10.
Perfect. Richard Madden.
That is a 7.8 out of 10.
Beautiful. Adam Driver specifically as Kylo Ren, more specifically as Kylo Ren in The Rise of Skywalker.
Kylo Ren era is a 7.8 out of 10.
Okay. This man, he was a TikToker and he's so funny. I love him. He also now works for Gen Z for Change, so he is politically active and I love him.
Sam Schlafstein.
I'm pretty sure, yeah, Schlafstein.
Is an 8 out of 10.
Thank you. Pete Davidson.
7.5 out of 10.
Okay. Colin Jost.
Okay, I see where we're going here. 6.5 out of 10.
You know what? He's married to Scarlett Johansson, so he's doing something right.
Yeah.
Corey Monteith.
Why does he look
R.I.P.
like
of course
he's
as well.
eating something?
I think he was in this picture,
I'm
but
giving
it's
him
hard
a
to find a picture that I want.
6.8 out of 10.
Of course, R.I.P. David Cornswet, he was in a show on Netflix called Hollywood that was so good.
7.3 out of 10.
Okay. Drew Starkey.
Is a 7.7 out of 10.
Okay. Matthew Gray Goobler.
Is
Fun fact, voiced Simon and Alvin and the Chipmunks.
Is a 7.8 out of 10.
Manny Jacinto specifically as Jason Mendoza
I
in The
don't
Good
like that
Place.
haircut. But
I think he's wearing a hat.
Oh, it's hard to see. It's a little dark.
Dark on my computer. I apologize.
I'll give him a... Yeah, I think that's his hair.
No, he's wearing a hat.
I think that's his hair.
He's wearing a hat.
I'll give him
I know the scene from the show.
7.7 out of 10.
Joe Burrow.
I'll give him an 8.3 out of 10.
Okay. Anthony Ramos.
I'll give him an 8 out of 10.
Yeah. David Diggs.
I'll give him Love Trolls Band Together.
Yeah.
I'll give him a 8 out of 10.
Jacob Elordi.
Yeah, I am Jacob Elordi.
Oh, sorry, I forgot.
Yeah, I am Jacob Elordi. That's a little
sorry.
little known fact.
Sorry.
8.9 out of 10.
Okay. Jaden Hossler, he was like a TikToker. He's also a musician.
I don't buy it. 7.3 out of 10.
This is gonna be a weird phase of my life, Machine Gun
I
Kelly.
hate Machine Gun Kelly.
This is before he got really, really
I'm gonna
weird.
try to hold back my bias and say that he's a
go for it.
6.9 out of 10.
Okay. Youngblood.
Oh no.
Who used to date Halsey, fun
I
fact.
hate that, and he's a 6 out of 10.
Okay, I thought that was gonna be lower. Vinny Hacker.
6.8.
Charlie Gillespie of Julian the Phantoms, of course.
7.9.
Owen Patrick Joyner, also of Julian Phantoms. Couldn't really find a great picture, but I love him so much.
8.1.
Garrett Nelson. Nebraska football.
8.1.
Max Greenfield, specifically Ash Schmidt.
Regular white dude. I'll give him a 7.4.
Jake Johnson, specifically as Nick Miller in season 1 of New
Also
Girl.
just a regular dude. I'll give him a 7.7.
And that's the charm of it, Andrew, is that they're just regular men. John Mulaney. John Mulaney, I don't think is like photographically attractive. I think he's like video attractive.
Coke-free
and, like,
John Mulaney is...
funny.
Coke-free John Mulaney is a 7.5 out of 10.
Okay. Reggae Jean Page, Bridgerton.
I'll give him an 8.2.
Okay. Jackson Hallmark played baseball for Nebraska.
I'll give him a 7.4.
Okay. Sebastian Stan.
I'll give him a 7.1.
That's crazy. Chris Evans.
I'll give him an 8.0.
Okay, Chris Hemsworth.
I love Chris Evans.
But only as Thor.
I love Chris Evans in... No, not another teen movie. Love him there. Chris Hemsworth is an 8.6 out of 10.
Only as Thor.
Sure, 8.6 out of 10.
Okay. Tom Hiddleston.
As Loki is an 8.2 out of 10.
Okay, but this is just Tom Hiddleston.
Yeah, as Loki is an 8.2 out of 10.
Okay. Tom Holland.
As Spider-Man is a 8 out of 10. Shout out Zendaya.
Shout out Zendaya. Jack Harlow.
Man, take away that beard and it's like 5 out of 10. With the beard, it's like a 6.6 out of 10.
Okay. Andy Samberg, I said mostly but not limited to as Jake Peralta on Brooklyn Nine-Nine.
Especially Peralta from 9-9. I'll give him a 7.1.
Okay. Heath Ledger.
Oh my god. And 10 Things I Hate About You?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a 9 out of 10.
Yeah.
Heath Ledger in that movie, absolutely insane.
Yeah. Barry Keoghan, mostly as Reagan and Eternals, but I can be persuaded otherwise.
I'm not buying it. He's a 7.4.
Okay. Jake Kiska of Greta Van Fleet.
That's a very beautiful woman.
I knew you were going to say that.
I will give that lovely lady a 8 out of 10.
Jake, don't listen to him. Sam Kiska.
I will also give that lovely lady's sister a 7.7 out of 10.
Josh Kiska.
I will give that lovely lady's brother a 8.1 out of 10 and say, I didn't know everybody in Fleetwood Mac. I didn't know everyone in Greta Van Fleet was related.
Not everyone, because it's the fourth member of Danny.
Danny Wagner. Right out of the 80s.
And give him a 10.
I respect that he's going for it. I'll give him an 8.
Okay. That's stupid. Jonathan Bailey as Anthony Bridgerton in season 2 of Bridgerton specifically.
It's just a white guy. I'll give him 7.5.
Okay. Jojo Doman, who is a Nebraska football player, met him. He smells wonderful.
Yeah, he looks like I'd play him in like beer pong on a darty. And
I will say this is not a great photo.
I will give him a 6.9 out of 10.
Okay. Josh Richards.
That's a pretty good looking man.
I hate to say.
Is a 7.6 out of 10.
Okay. Chris Briney. Connie baby.
I'm not buying it. 7.4.
Okay, whatever. Austin Butler.
I'm buying it, sort of. I'm starting to buy it. I'll give him an 8 out of 10.
Okay. Justin Herbert.
Justin Herbert, obviously very rich, very wealthy, 6'6". I'll give him an 8.3.
Beautiful. Miles Teller, specifically as Rooster in Top Gun Maverick.
I hate that mustache. I wish he would have chosen Miles Teller as...
Oh, and Whiplash?
No, not Whiplash.
I've never seen Whiplash.
There's another Miles Teller movie that we can't
He's
think
in
of.
Divergent.
Miles Teller in Project X.
Never seen it.
We need to watch that. I'll give him
we'll add it to the list.
7.8 out of 10.
Okay. Matt Sturniolo.
Oh, stop staring at me. White boy, curly hair. I'll give him 7.5.
I love him. He who shall not be named.
That dude is a 7.5 out of 10.
Okay. I'm just going to move right on. Milo Manheim.
Milo Manheim. I like that his suit is big. Makes him look teensy tiny. I'll give him...
That's his shadow.
It's still a big suit. I'll give him a 7.3.
Okay. Paul Mescal.
I'll give him a Mescal. I'll give him a 7.8 out of 10.
Marcelo Hernandez.
I'll give him an A.
Okay, whatever. Ben Marshall. I think this is more like a humor thing. Like he's just very funny.
Redhead. I'm not gonna say. I don't like how red his hair is. I'm giving him a 7.2.
Okay. This is redacted, and I mean redacted. And his profession is also redacted. But please give a rating.
7.4.
This is going to be the portion where a lot of these people I unfortunately do believe that I still hold a slight chance with. So they will be redacted,
and don't
unfortunately.
Worry. She doesn't want to, in the middle of her 149 line PowerPoint about the man she's attracted to, she doesn't want to come off as crazy to the people.
Yes.
So
I did this for content, Andrew.
We'll be redacting that.
Ryan Gosling,
of
I
course.
said I think he's attractive outside of the Ken character, but the first time I got Ryan Gosling was when I was watching Barbie for the first time.
Of course, is an 8.8 out of 10.
Yeah, I thought it was going to be higher. So
I'm being realistic.
Chubba Purdy, who was quarterback for Nebraska, of course, Brock Purdy's younger brother. He did unfortunately transfer, so he is dead to me now, but he was my Nebraska football crush last season.
7 out of 10.
Okay. Connor Wood, aka Fibula, who I mentioned on the first episode of the podcast. I said he wasn't in the PowerPoint. Did have to go ahead and
Come
add
on
him
the podcast, Connor Wood.
because I am addicted to this young man.
Is a 7.8 out of 10.
Okay. Rink Mast, who plays basketball for Nebraska from the Netherlands.
Surprised he's not redacted.
As you can tell, no, I told you this, Andrew. From the Netherlands, as you can tell from this flag in the photo.
I'll give him a 7.3 out of 10.
Okay, Rink Mast, I'm going to take this opportunity if you are listening, which I know you probably are. You have an extra year of eligibility. Please come back and play Nebraska basketball next season. Like, I am down on hypothetical knees.
She is down on knees.
Hypothetical. No, don't say that.
You can say literal too. Like, they don't know if you are.
No, I am down on hypothetical knee, pleading, begging, all of the above. Please come back and play.
Also,
please. Also, please come on the podcast. You will receive a Yapaholics friendship bracelet.
She also has a hypothetical illness that
Reagan's
grandma said we cannot refer to.
My grandma said we can't refer to. And also, Rink Mast, I will be in Lincoln in a few short weeks. And so if you want to come on the podcast, I will be in Lincoln. Get
ready for the meet cute. It's happening whether you like it or not.
No, it's not. No. But you can come on the podcast when I am in Lincoln. I can be trusted with these mics by myself. I promise. Andrew and Hala will probably not be there, but I will be. And so, of course, you are welcome to come on the podcast. And that's that. And please don't listen to Andrew when he says that you were whatever he rated you as. I think you are a very attractive man.
Okay, your pitch is done.
And that's my pitch. Redacted.
7.5.
These last few are going to be redacted, I hate to say. I will go as far to say that a lot of those that were redacted at the end are hockey players because I have entered my hockey era. I'm not at liberty to say.
Yeah, so this is educational.
Yeah.
We have spent a lot of time talking. I don't know. Is there any words you want to say to wrap this up?
I promise I'm not crazy. I did spend about an hour working on that.
It's impressive, actually.
Because I again would like to say it's chronological. It's like from Keith Urban, started Keith Urban. That was when I was like 5. So my memory steel trap that I remembered that I loved all these men. And I just have so much love to give and put out in the world that I focus it in on these celebrity men.
That's one way to look at it.
No, I'm being so for real about that.
Okay. And I'm just being, I'm just being harsh. So,
yeah, and I don't appreciate it.
Yeah.
Because you know what? I would venture to say, in a few short episodes, we're probably going to get into your
and you can
ideal
let
woman.
loose. You can let
I
loose.
probably will.
Yeah, don't worry.
Yeah.
Anyways,
that was the episode.
That was the episode. That's the podcast.
I hope everyone enjoyed.
And don't forget, if you want to send in your favorite One Direction solo project. So
yes. We look forward to hearing your replies.
Yeah.
Also, if you have any questions, there's a Q&A thing on Spotify.
There is a Q&A on Spotify.
But also, if you just want to send us things on Yapaholics Anonymous Instagram or, our business email, that also works. Yeah. We would love to answer emails.
Yeah.
I would love to.
Our team will get in contact with
Our
your team.
Our team will be in contact with your team, Rink Mast.
Bye.
Bye, guys. This has been an episode of Yapaholics Anonymous with your co-hosts Reagan and Andrew.
If you enjoyed listening to this episode, share with your friends and follow us on Instagram at Yapaholics Podcast.